Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
Tucker Carlson has been left flabbergasted after learning how high energy bills are in Australia, despite being rich in natural resources. The former Fox News host claimed the reason for the hefty prices Australian families were seeing on their bills was due to the country's exports of iron ore and coal to China. The right-wing commentator claimed Australia was selling its coal to China to be made into renewables, which we then buy back, and used the rant to blast the Albanese government. "Whoever thought of that hates you," he claimed, while speaking at Melbourne's Convention Centre on Monday night, as part of the Australian Freedom Conference's speaking tour. "It's not like the accountants over at Parliament House look at the books one day and are like, all these estimates we had about wind farms, it actually doesn't add up. That we sell our country's resources to a faraway country to make something that doesn't work and pay extra for it," he claimed. "The fact that you have high energy costs are reason enough for you to get rid of the people that are running your country. Nearly all of Australia's solar panels come from overseas, the majority being made in China. Chinese investors also own two of Australia's biggest energy companies. Energy Australia, which has 1.7 million customers, is owned by the China Light and Power Company after being sold off by the NSW government for $1.4 billion in 2011. And Alinta Energy, which has 1.1 million customers, was sold by its private owners to Chow Tai Fook Enterprises for $4 billion in 2017. Although neither Energy Australia or Alinta distribute electricity, both are energy generators and retailers, owning crucial assets such as coal power stations, solar power fields, and wind farms. Tesla CEO Elon Musk was similarly left dumbfounded by how expensive electricity was in Australia in an interview from 2017 that recently resurfaced. "Wow, really?" he said in disbelief when told by 60 Minutes presenter Liz Hayes that power had become a luxury item for many families. "I didn't realize it was that expensive. Australia has so many natural resources that even if you go the fossil fuel route, electricity should be very cheap," he says. His shock turned to sadness when he was told many people were worried they would not be able to turn on their lights or cook food. "I did not expect that," he said as his voice shook before he took a long pause. "We'll work harder," Musk said, implying he hoped to make electricity cheaper for Australians through Tesla tech. In the year to May, power bills climbed by 6.5% above the rate of inflation according to data released by the Australian Bureau of Statistics. The rise saw the Albanese government introduce a $300 energy bill rebate for all Australian households to help combat the rising cost of living. From July 1st, households would see a $300 credit automatically applied to their electricity bills, while 1 million small businesses would receive $325 off their bills. Critics have slammed the measure, saying such rebates only reduce the competitive pressure on energy firms to ease their prices and may contribute to further price rises. Meanwhile, inflation jumped to 4% in the year to May, up from 3.6% the month before, prompting NAB analysts to warn that any interest rate cut could be delayed until after May next year. During his trip down under, Carlson also touched on Australia's housing crisis, which he said was a result of immigration. Carlson admitted he was shocked when he learned how expensive it was to buy a home in Sydney, even in suburbs far away from the harbour. He said he was looking up house prices because he was considering buying property in Australia, but soon realized even someone with his bank balance could not realistically afford a home down under. "It was so much more than I can afford, and I have a decent job," he told the crowd. "How does anybody live here?" he said when he asked the question to a Sydney local. He was told many had left the city altogether or ended up homeless. "I said, that sounds like a crisis," Carlson added. "Why is it happening?" Immigration. "There's only one reason, and that's the reason. But nobody wants to say it like that because it sounds like an attack on immigrants. And that's how they get you to shut up. They say, 'Shut up, racist.'" Carlson said he was general.